Ever find yourself second-guessing a decision, wondering if maybe there was a better way to approach a situation? It
Yeah,
happens to all of us, but in healthcare, those reflections can be critical
absolutely.
because they can directly impact patient care.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving deep into self-reflection for doctors, with support from London Heartbeat Z Academy UK.
Great topic.
They offer over 140 healthcare courses and regularly share content on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
Wow.
Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on discussions like this one.
Definitely.
Now, we often think of self-reflection as something personal,
Right.
but it's really important professionally, especially in medicine.
Yeah, for sure.
Doctors are making life and death decisions all the time.
It's true.
So let's unpack this idea of self-reflection for doctors.
Okay.
What does that actually involve?
Well, at its core, self-reflection for doctors is consciously examining their experiences,
Okay.
their thought processes, and emotional responses, especially when it comes to patient care. It's stepping back and analyzing how their actions and decisions affect the people they're treating.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But with their crazy schedules and the pressure they're under,
Right.
how do doctors find the time for self-reflection?
Well, that's where different methods come in.
Okay.
One common approach is journaling. So, picture a doctor. After a long shift, jotting down notes about a challenging patient interaction.
Yeah.
They might think about how they communicated with the patient, how they handled their own emotions,
Right.
what they could have done differently,
Yeah.
This helps them see patterns in their behavior and maybe uncover some blind spots.
So it's more than just venting frustrations. It's
Yeah.
about turning these experiences into learning moments.
Exactly.
Like that.
Another good method is peer discussion.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine a group of doctors getting together to talk about a tough case
Okay.
or a tricky ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
They're in a safe environment so they can share perspectives, challenge each other's assumptions.
And brainstorm solutions together.
It's like tapping into the collective wisdom of the group.
Yeah, you could say that.
And I imagine those discussions can be really helpful,
For sure.
not just to understand the medical complexities, but also the emotional and ethical aspects.
Absolutely. You're right on.
It must be powerful.
It is.
Those peer interactions are great for developing empathy.
And emotional intelligence, which are crucial for any doctor.
For sure.
And then you've got mentorship,
Okay.
where a more experienced doctor guides a younger colleague.
Right.
This is so beneficial for navigating those tough challenges that come with the medical profession.
Yeah, like having a trusted advisor
Exactly.
to help you make sense of it all.
Yeah.
So we've got journaling, peer discussions, and mentorship.
So far,
What about more structured tools or frameworks?
those exist too.
Okay, like what?
Well, there's the SWOT analysis.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Doctors can use this to look at their own strengths, weaknesses, opportunities for growth, and potential threats. Makes sense.
It's a way to get a clear and objective view of where they stand
Right.
and how to improve.
Like taking stock.
You got it.
What about the Gibbs reflective cycle?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
You mentioned that earlier.
It's a 6-stage process to guide someone through a structured reflection of an experience.
Okay, how does that work?
So you start by describing the experience.
Yeah.
Then you analyze your feelings, evaluate the situation,
Yeah.
draw conclusions, plan future actions,
Okay.
and finally reflect on the reflection itself.
Sounds very thorough.
It is.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Why is self-reflection so important for doctors in the first place?
Good question.
What are the real benefits?
Well, one of the biggest benefits is improved self-awareness.
I see.
By reflecting on their interactions with patients, doctors can spot their own biases, assumptions, and communication patterns.
Right.
This awareness helps them adjust their approach and tailor their care to each patient's needs.
So it's about moving beyond that one-size-fits-all approach
Exactly.
and recognizing each patient is unique.
Absolutely.
I like that.
And self-reflection can also lead to better clinical decisions.
Oh, how so?
By looking back at past cases and reflecting on the outcomes.
Right.
Doctors can identify areas where they might have missed something important
Wow.
or where their judgment might have been clouded
So they're constantly honing their skills.
when making more informed choices.
It makes sense.
Another key benefit is the development of resilience.
Okay.
Doctors face a lot of pressure, stress, and emotional challenges.
It's true.
Self-reflection can help them develop coping mechanisms,
Yeah.
process those difficult experiences, and build that emotional resilience.
So they can better handle those challenges.
Exactly.
So it's not just about clinical skills.
Right.
It's also about their own well-being.
Which ultimately allows them to take better care of their patients.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, a burnt-out doctor can't provide compassionate care.
No, definitely not.
Self-reflection helps them recognize the signs of burnout.
And take steps to prevent it.
Exactly.
Sounds like a win-win for doctors and patients.
It really is.
Are there any downsides or challenges?
Well, one challenge can be the time commitment.
Right. We
Well,
talked about their schedules.
Yeah, finding time for self-reflection can feel impossible.
I bet.
But even just 5 minutes at the end of the day to jot down some thoughts can be helpful,
It's about making it a habit.
even if it's just a few moments each day.
Right.
And another challenge can be the emotional toll.
In what way?
Well, it can be tough to face your own mistakes
Yeah, that's never easy.
or to admit you need to improve.
True.
It can make you feel guilty, ashamed, or inadequate.
I can see that.
And that's especially tough for doctors who are used to striving for perfection.
Makes sense.
But it's important to remember that self-reflection isn't about self-criticism.
Yeah,
It's about growth and learning.
absolutely.
It's about being curious and wanting to become a better version of yourself.
Professionally and personally.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that brings up another point.
Okay.
The role of institutions
In what way?
in fostering a culture of self-reflection.
Interesting.
Can't just be up to individual doctors.
Right.
Hospitals and healthcare organizations need to create an environment where self-reflection is valued.
And supported.
Exactly.
What would that look like?
Well, it could involve dedicated time for reflection,
Okay.
workshops and training on different methods,
Yeah.
peer support groups, things like that.
So it's not an afterthought.
No.
It's part of professional development and quality care.
Exactly.
What about technology? Can that play a role?
Definitely.
How so?
There are all sorts of apps and online platforms now
Oh, cool.
designed to help doctors with self-reflection.
Wow.
They can provide structured prompts, guided exercises, and even connect doctors with virtual mentors or peer groups.
That's amazing.
Technology makes self-reflection more accessible.
Especially for busy doctors.
You-
So we've talked about methods, benefits, challenges.
Mhm.
Now I'm curious about the impact on patient care.
Okay.
How does a doctor's self-reflection actually benefit their patients?
That's a great question.
What do you think?
Well, one noticeable benefit is improved communication.
Okay.
When doctors are more self-aware,
Yeah.
they're better at listening to their patients, understanding their perspectives, and communicating clearly and with empathy,
It's about that connection.
and building trust between doctor and patient.
For sure.
And when patients feel heard and understood,
Yeah.
they're more likely to be involved in their own care.
And follow their doctor's recommendations.
Exactly, which can lead to better treatment outcomes.
So the doctor's growth has a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
It impacts the entire patient experience.
You're right on.
That's really interesting.
Another key benefit is increased patient satisfaction.
Oh, how so?
Well, when doctors reflect,
Uh,
they're more likely to recognize their biases and blind spots. This allows them to provide more equitable and unbiased care.
so it's about treating each patient with respect and dignity,
Precisely.
regardless of their background.
Exactly.
And when patients feel valued,
They're more likely to be happy with their care.
I could definitely see that.
So self-reflection leads to a more compassionate approach.
More patient-centered.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
And let's not forget patient safety.
Oh, right.
When doctors are always reflecting and striving to improve,
Yeah.
they're more likely to catch potential errors,
Okay.
identify risks, and prevent harm
It's about creating a culture of continuous learning
and improvement.
where everyone benefits.
Exactly.
So how can we ensure future doctors embrace this practice?
It's a great question.
It is. But before we dive into that,
Okay.
let's thank London Heartbeat Z Academy UK for their support.
They're great.
If you're interested in healthcare, they offer over 140 courses
Wow.
covering all sorts of topics.
Fantastic.
Check out their website and connect with them on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
You don't want to miss their insights.
Absolutely. And they offer free, regular updates.
Wonderful.
So you'll always be in the loop.
Sounds great. Welcome back to our deep dive into self-reflection for doctors.
It's amazing to think about the impact of something so simple
Yeah, it really can have a ripple effect.
throughout healthcare.
For sure.
One area where it's noticeable is medical training.
Absolutely.
Imagine if self-reflection was a core part of medical school.
Right from the start.
It would be a game changer,
Yeah, it would.
instilling that mindset early on.
Exactly.
Instead of just memorizing facts.
Yeah.
Students would be encouraged to think critically,
About their experience.
analyze their decisions,
Uh-huh.
and identify areas for growth.
That's right.
It's about fostering self-awareness and critical thinking.
From day one.
Exactly.
Imagine how that would change things.
You would.
These future doctors, they'd be ready for the emotional challenges. They'd be better at learning from mistakes, and they'd be prepared to provide compassionate care.
It's an investment in the future of healthcare.
I agree.
We're setting them up for success.
Not just with medical knowledge,
Right.
but with emotional intelligence and resilience.
It's all connected.
It is.
And that brings us to leadership.
Okay.
What role do they play in this?
They have a big role in fostering a culture of reflection.
Within healthcare teams.
Yeah, it can't just be individual doctors.
Right, it needs to come from the top,
A top-down approach.
where leaders support this practice.
Absolutely.
It's about leading by example.
That's right.
If leaders embrace self-reflection
It sends a powerful message.
to the whole team,
Exactly.
and that leadership can look different ways.
Yeah, like scheduling reflection sessions, providing training on different methods, even incorporating it into evaluations.
So it's about creating an environment where doctors feel safe,
To share their experiences
both good and bad.
without judgment
When that happens, it builds trust.
and camaraderie,
It becomes a shared journey of growth,
which benefits everyone.
especially the patients.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how it all ties together.
It really is.
But even with support, self-reflection can be tough.
It can be.
What are some of the barriers doctors might face?
Well, one big one is time.
Right, their schedules are packed.
It's hard to find time to reflect
Like trying to fit in a workout.
when you're already running late.
Exactly.
That's why institutions need to step up,
To support this,
not just encourage it,
right, make it a priority.
by creating protected time for reflection.
Okay, how could they do that?
Maybe blocking off time at the end of the day,
Okay.
or setting up a system for swapping shifts.
So doctors can have that dedicated time.
Exactly.
It's about making it happen.
Not just saying it's important.
Another barrier is the emotional toll.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It can be hard to confront your mistakes.
It can bring up a lot of feelings.
Guilt, shame.
Inadequacy.
Doctors are used to striving for perfection.
It's true.
So this can be really hard.
But it's important to remember,
What's that?
self-reflection is not about self-criticism.
Yeah.
It's about self-discovery.
It's about learning and growing.
That's it.
And that's where support systems come in.
Like peer groups or mentorship.
Creating that safe
That can
space
share and be vulnerable.
without judgment.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about technology.
Oh, yeah, technology's huge.
That can really help with self-reflection.
Especially for busy doctors.
Who might not have time for traditional methods.
That's right.
What kind of technology are we talking about?
Well, there are apps for journaling,
Okay.
online communities for sharing experiences,
Cool.
and even AI-powered programs.
Wow, AI.
They can offer personalized feedback.
It's like having a virtual coach.
Yeah, for self-reflection.
That's amazing.
And as technology keeps evolving,
Uh-huh.
we'll see even more tools and resources.
Making it easier for doctors to
You
reflect.
quickly.
It's fascinating to think about.
It is.
Self-reflection impacts not just the doctor,
Right.
but the whole system.
It's a ripple effect.
We've been exploring that this whole time.
How this simple act of introspection can change healthcare.
It's powerful stuff.
It is.
One striking example is patient satisfaction.
Oh, yeah.
Studies show that doctors who self-reflect
They tend to have higher patient satisfaction.
makes sense to me.
It does.
If your doctor takes the time to understand you
To listen to your concerns.
and reflects on your interaction,
You feel valued.
you feel heard.
Exactly.
It's a more personalized approach,
It's holistic,
not just treating the disease.
but caring for the whole person.
That's what it's all about.
And
And doctors who self-reflect,
they pick up on those subtle cues.
the unspoken worries,
The anxiety.
they're more attuned to the emotional side of things,
That's right.
not just the clinical side.
And that makes a difference
It does.
for patient outcomes.
Because when patients feel understood and supported,
They're more likely to follow treatment plans.
to engage in healthy behaviors,
And they have better outcomes.
it's a win-win.
For everyone.
But it goes beyond satisfaction.
It does.
Self-reflection also impacts patient safety.
Absolutely.
When doctors analyze their actions and decisions,
Mm-hmm.
they can catch potential error
You can assess risks.
and prevent harm.
It's all about continuous learning and improvement.
Everyone's striving for the best care possible.
That's right.
And this ties into resilience
Okay.
for healthcare professionals.
That's a crucial part.
We touched on this before,
Yeah.
but I want to dig deeper.
Okay. What do you want to know?
How does self-reflection help doctors with the emotional challenges of their job?
It's a tough job.
It is.
It's demanding and stressful.
Doctors face difficult decisions all the time,
They have challenging patients.
and the weight of responsibility is huge.
It can take a toll.
It's no wonder burnout is a growing concern.
Yeah, it's a real issue.
So where does self-reflection come in?
It gives doctors a way to process their experiences,
Okay.
to manage their emotions.
And develop coping mechanisms
Exactly.
by reflecting on their reactions,
They can identify patterns
recognize triggers,
and develop strategies for staying grounded.
even when things are chaotic.
It's like building emotional armor.
I love that analogy.
It helps them weather the storms.
And the more resilient they are,
The better they can support their patients.
especially those going through tough times,
Because they understand what it's like.
they can offer empathy and understanding.
They've been there.
It all comes back to well-being.
It does.
The doctor's well-being
Affects the care they provide.
and self-reflection helps nurture that well-being.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful cycle.
It is.
So what's next for self-reflection in healthcare?
That's a great question.
As technology evolves,
And healthcare changes.
how do we keep this practice going?
It's important to keep it at the forefront.
What do you see on the horizon?
Well, AI is becoming more prevalent. Imagine AI platforms that analyze reflections,
It's interesting.
identify patterns, and provide personalized insights.
It's like a self-awareness coach.
Yeah, but virtual.
That's wild.
And I think we'll see more healthcare models.
That prioritize continuous learning and self-improvement,
It's all about fostering a culture of growth
where doctors are constantly trying to be better.
for themselves and their patients.
That's a great vision for the future.
I think so.
It's exciting to think about.
It is.
Before we wrap up this part,
Okay.
let's thank London Heartbeats Academy UK again.
They've been amazing.
Seriously, folks,
Check them out.
they have over 140 healthcare courses.
Wow. That's a lot.
You'll definitely find something interesting.
I'm sure you will.
And connect with them on social media.
For free updates,
And stay tuned for future discussions like this one.
they're doing great work.
You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
Just search for London Heartbeats Academy UK.
They're a valuable resource for anyone passionate about healthcare.
Well, I agree.
Now, before we move on to our final thoughts,
Okay.
let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
We'll be back soon to explore the broader implications of self-reflection.
For all of us, not just doctors.
It's something we can all benefit from.
I think so.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been exploring self-reflection for doctors.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. And one thing that really stands out to me
Yeah.
is that self-reflection isn't about dwelling on the negative.
It's not about beating yourself up.
Exactly. It's not about self-criticism.
It's about self-discovery.
I like that.
It's about approaching our experiences with curiosity,
And a willingness to learn.
to grow,
Absolutely.
asking those tough questions.
But not to judge ourselves,
You're right.
but to understand ourselves better.
Our motivations, reactions, thought processes,
And in that understanding,
lies the power of self-reflection,
it's how we become more self-aware,
of our strengths and weaknesses,
more in tune with our emotions.
more resilience.
Exactly.
It's not just about being a better doctor.
It's about being a better person.
Well said.
And while we focused on healthcare,
Yeah.
this applies to everyone, no
Absolutely.
matter what you do in life.
Self-reflection is valuable for everyone.
Whether you're an artist,
A teacher,
an entrepreneur,
anyone.
taking the time to reflect is crucial.
For growth and self-improvement.
It's how we learn from our mistakes
How we identify those patterns in our behavior.
and make choices that align with our values.
It's about taking ownership and becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think it's time to wrap up
Yeah, it is.
this deep dive.
But first,
Yes.
one last shout out to London Heartbeats Academy UK.
They've been fantastic.
Incredible support for this episode.
They're doing great work.
So if you're interested in healthcare,
Check out their website.
explore their courses.
Over 140 of them.
You'll definitely find something that interests you.
And connect with them on social media.
For free updates,
Stay informed about future episodes.
find them on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
London Heartbeats Z Academy UK.
They're an amazing resource.
For anyone passionate about healthcare.
Well, listeners,
That's a wrap.
it's been a pleasure diving deep into self-reflection for doctors.
It has.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
And learned something along the way.
Remember,
What's that?
self-reflection is powerful.
It's for everyone.
It's about growth and self-discovery.
Take some time to reflect.
Identify your
There are
strengths.
areas for improvement
Embrace the journey.
of continuous learning.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
See you next time.